What's up, Internet? It's Dumbass Panicos Gaming, and we're back with some more shiny hunting. So we're still working on Breed Tauros. You already know how these go, so let's just get right into it. So I was gonna say new raids, but it's not new. They're both returning raids. But Typhlosion and Blissey are back. So, you know, I'll definitely be doing the Blissey raids tomorrow. I might honestly even do them on both accounts. I'm not sure yet. Probably, maybe not. Yeah, I was like kind of worried about Blissey because I was like, oh wait, I wasn't worried, but I was thinking that I might actually need to build a Pokemon for it. And then I realized that Iron Hands is going to work perfectly fine. Picnic? Oh, right. I hate how you don't like automatically get off your Pokemon if you start a picnic. Back into our little corner. Okay, and now we do our 30 minutes of standing here not doing anything. But yeah, unfortunately the Blissey raid, it doesn't have any like good sellable items. Like it doesn't have nuggets or star pieces or anything. It is just Terra Shards, XP candies, and rare candies. Actually, a couple of the like potential spawns for it, because there's like a bunch of different, even though they're all like the same, like it's all the same Pokemon, there's a bunch of different like entries in the spawn table, which decides kind of what the possible loot is. So there's two that are only Terra Shards for loot, because one of them has 9 of the 18 types and the other one has the other 9. But it's, and then the rest of the entries in that spawn table all have like a chance for XL XP candies and large XP candies and rare candies. Pretty good chances as well. I think they're all like 25 and 30%, which is nice. But yeah, we're kind of mainly doing it for Terra Shards. Even though I have yet to actually use the mechanic where you change your Terra typing. But part of that is just, well, I just haven't had a reason to yet for raids. The only one that I would have was potentially Annihilate for was it Typhlosion? Yeah, I think it was Typhlosion that we were doing Annihilate for. Because like having Ghost type instead of fighting might have changed that a little bit. But I ended up not needing it. But also part of the reason why I've not like changed any Terra typings is because it's just so expensive to do. It takes 50 Terra Shards each time, and you don't really get that many. So that's kind of why I want to do the Blissey raids. It is actually a rerun. We had that event a number of weeks ago. I guess 3 or 4 weeks ago now. But I couldn't do it because I didn't have internet for a week, which sucked. But yeah, so we'll do those. I don't really have a reason to do Typhlosion. We did a bunch last week. And then I believe, after that, I'll pull up Cerebi here. Yeah, between the end, so we're gonna go like a little bit over a week without new event raids, which is not normal. We have Walking Wake and Iron Leaves, so Suicune and Virizion Paradox forms. Their event will be getting rerun May 1st through, what was the day? May 14th, so 2 weeks. And I think they probably wanted to rerun that, you know, eventually anyways, but I think part of the reason why they're doing that is there was a glitch when those raids came out where you could attempt them for some reason, even if you hadn't updated your game to 1.2. But it like glitched it out and it meant that you couldn't actually catch the Pokemon. So they fixed that bug. with the most recent update, the one that came out yesterday or earlier this week. And then they're going to rerun them for another 2 weeks, which is nice. We're kind of hoping we get Pokemon Home after that, but we'll see. I mean, we kind of were hoping we'd get Pokemon Home on Pokemon Day, and then also at the end of this month. And neither of those... Well, we could get Pokemon Home still. Actually, I guess there's no reason why they couldn't. We're kind of like assuming because of the Walking Wake event that they would... Or, you know, the Legendary Paradoxes event, that they might hold back on that a little bit longer, but we could see it. They could be waiting until like after the Typhlosion event. I mean, they do have, you know, we have that full week next week, because there is no event next week, or next weekend rather, because the rerun is on the 1st. Check that a little bit early, but whatever. I think we'll be fine. But yeah, God, I really need that update to come out. Because I have a lot of stuff to update. Also an update about stuff that I don't really talk about the Redbubble page because I don't ever really put new stuff up on there, and really none of it is related to my stream. But Redbubble yesterday or a couple days ago decided to make a really stupid fucking decision, and now on top of taking money from every sale, like the majority of the money from every sale, I think by default you only get like 20% of the sale or some shit, which I understand, they're the ones actually manufacturing, but like, you know. Anyways, on top of that, they're also now charging a fee for every, like, they're charging their community fees for their art. Fuck you. So that I've deleted that now. I won't be doing anything with Redbubble ever again. I never really did much of anything with it anyways. And it... I don't know. I'm gonna probably look into Stream Elements, how they do their merch stuff. And if I can do some merch stuff through that, then I will. I actually did have a kind of funny idea the other day about a merch idea. A funny idea about an idea. Good one, dumbass. But yeah, I had an idea for something, and I do want to look into that. We'll see. But yeah, I need to remember to actually go in and like remove Redbubble from all of my stuff, because I still it's probably still linked to my YouTube channel. I think somewhere on my Twitch it's still linked. So, you know, should probably make sure that's not the case. But yeah, I don't know. I don't even think I put any descriptions for anything ever, so it's not really an issue. It was only ever in, like, my profile. Although, actually, I haven't had that on Twitch for a while. I think I might have, like, a card for it or something, though. And it might be in some of my alerts still, like the boxes that pop down. Wow, we are just getting nothing here. Are we sure we had that sandwich? Or not sandwich, but the meal with the egg too? I'm pretty sure I did. But yeah, I don't know. I've just been hesitant to do anything with the Stream Elements stuff, only because I haven't wanted to set up anything like the tipping page or whatever. Just all the old horror stories of chargebacks and stuff, I just want nothing to do with. And, you know, I figured it's a thing where if I'm not even at affiliate yet, then I'm really not going to make anything from anything like that, you know? So there's just like not a point of me like putting myself at that risk of losing money because someone does a chargeback when I'm also already like not really making money. But again, I'll look into it. I think the main thing is I have the like something about Redbubble on my offline page for when I'm not streaming, and I need to redo that page anyways because it's not useful in any way. I should see. Might actually go and pull up Twitch in a second here on my desktop. Well, maybe not, but I need to see if I can do an animated background for that. I'm like 99% certain you can't. Like, you can't use a GIF or something. But yeah, just update that stuff. I mean, I need to update. Even without Pokemon Home getting updated, I need to update some of those drop-in cards because they, I have the one that's for Gen 9, but then I haven't touched it since, like, Gen 9 was, since I made the original one there. But yeah, I think as soon as as soon as Pokemon Home updates, that's when I'm going to do my second Scarlet playthrough, because I'm thinking I'm not expecting much in terms of the trades in Pokemon Home in terms of trying to get a Koraidon, because again, even though I played Scarlet once already, I traded my Koraidon for a Miraidon just so I can complete my living dex, or my complete the Pokedex in this game so I could get my shiny charm. And I had hoped that they would just, like, offer to trade it back, but then they just left. So, you know, again, I say this every time. It's a risk that I knew was a possibility. So I can't really be upset about it. It just is disappointing. And now it's like, well, so many more people bought Violet instead of Scarlet, so, you know, it's just, like, impossible to find trades for when you have these Violet Pokemon and you're trying to get the Scarlet Pokemon. It's not impossible, but it's going to take a long time. And it's just, honestly, just play through the game again, and then I'll have an extra Legendary. Or find someone who doesn't care about theirs and trade for it. I don't know. But I guess that's why we would be doing with the trade code anyways. Is like trying to find someone who doesn't care about their... That's the other thing. I also don't want to be... Because you can't really communicate with it. I don't want to be the person who trades Miraidon for Koraidon and then keeps Koraidon. Because that's what happened to me, you know? So yeah, I think I'm just gonna... As soon as Pokemon Home is updated, we'll set up like a team to just smash through it real quick. Or a set of teams, more likely. And then just, yeah, just have at it. And that'll make it pretty quick for doing... getting my shiny charm in Violet again, as well as also we can just quickly get it in the second Scarlet save. Not that there's any reason why I would need to. In fact, I don't think... Yeah, I won't even bother with that. I will just, like, smash through the game enough to go get the second Koraidon, and then just send it over and not worry about it. Oh, I'll probably go get the legendaries again. Yeah, I'll probably do that. Go get the Treasures of Ruin for the third time. I still need to get the two in Violet, actually. The two that I still have left over, because I got two of them on stream. But then I just haven't gotten around to the other two again yet. Yeah, I don't know. Not a whole lot to talk about this week. You know, again, we had the big update, or decently sized update. Nothing about the save corruption glitch. But again, so few people have actually had that happen that like people can't even intentionally recreate it, which makes it kind of hard to figure out what happened that caused it when you can't even figure out how to make it happen, you know? You can't fix the issue if you don't know what the issue is. But more so disappointing that we still don't have Pokemon Home updated yet. Like, it, even if that glitch is rare, they are aware of it. Even though they haven't publicly said anything about it, you can, if necessary, contact, again, I forget if it's just Nintendo support or if there's a specific, like, Pokemon support line. But you can contact them, and there is a way to get your save file repaired so you can recover your stuff. So, like, they're aware that there is a glitch. They're aware this is a thing that is happening. So, like, just turn on fucking Pokemon Home. Like, 99% of the issue with it is solved if you just turn on Pokemon Home. And just make it a thing, because, again, I think you get, like, 1 box for free. But make it a thing so that, like, okay, there's 400 Pokemon in this deck, so, you know, give, like, 20 boxes for free. Just temporarily, right? It doesn't have to be a permanent thing. You can say it straight up before you, like, allow people to do it. Like, hey, once we fix this glitch, we're taking away all the free boxes so you only have 1 again. So you'll be able to take your Pokemon back out, but you won't be able to add new Pokemon in until you get back to only having 1 box. But, you know, heaven forbid. To be fair, figuring that out, I mean, Ilka has enough trouble just with Pokemon Home as it is, so maybe they don't need any more on their plate, but that just says... That's just... You know, that's a problem for Ilka. That shouldn't be a problem for the player base. Oh, I need to fix this on the title. It's a very minor change that I made to the title, but I for some reason when I did it for Blaze Breed originally, I did like 2 of the vertical bars, when I think it just looks better with just 1. It doesn't really matter, right? But it's... I don't know. But anyways, I keep on seeing it and meaning to change it, and then not fixing it, or forgetting to, or something. And then I just thought about it now. We'll see how many of these I do tonight. I am kind of tired. Again, there is stuff that I kind of need to get handled. So this could be a short stream. And I have been doing a number of longer streams. But we'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling. I mean, we still got another, like, 15 minutes probably on just collecting the eggs. And then we'll worry about hatching them. That's another reason why I would really like Pokemon Home to come out. So that way I can just, like... You know, like after I'm done streaming, while it's like uploading and processing for YouTube, I can just work on collecting like, we'll say like 4 batches of eggs every night. Because that should give me around like 200, which is like a good amount for every stream. You know, when you're not having to also collect them. Actually, it'd probably be closer to like 250. But you know, it's like, what? Probably about 45 minutes to hatch 60 eggs-ish, around there. So if I have to hatch, you know, 3 sets of that, that's 215. So yeah, like that would be like perfect, actually. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's like 2 hours of not doing anything, right? But it's... At least it's 2 hours of not doing anything off stream instead of 1 hour of not doing anything on stream. But again, I can't really do that right now. Because without Pokemon Home, you can't mass release. Or, I mean, again, there is a tool within the Switch Up device that you can use to like connect whatever controller you want to the Switch, pretty much. So like you can use an Xbox controller with your Switch and stuff like that. And there is like a macro for releasing a whole box of Pokemon. So I could look into that. Maybe I will, like, after this week of streaming. Because I do know this is going to get, like, old pretty fast. And maybe just try to do that, like, every, try to do that for the collecting the eggs, too. Because there is a macro for that as well. It's just that sometimes, as you can see, your Pokemon move around. And so they might get close enough to trigger that. Or to trigger, sorry. They get close enough to trigger talking to you, or you interacting with them. And then you aren't actually gathering eggs at that point. Because otherwise I could just let it go for 30 minutes and then just come back after and check for eggs. Or just, you know, check to see how many I've gotten. And then I don't have to, like, check every 2 minutes instead, like I would with this. We'll see. There are ways around it. Maybe I'll look into it. It's kind of a thing that I haven't wanted to put in the effort for that because it's going to be, you know... It's not going to matter as much once Pokemon Home is updated, but also Pokemon Home keeps on not being updated. So, like, you know... If I had just done it to begin with, we would be doing this a lot faster. I don't know. And it still doesn't solve the issue with actually collecting the Pokemon. So, or Pokemon Home doesn't anyway. So I might, yeah, I need to play with the macro stuff. Because, yeah, is it kind of technically cheating? I guess, but also, this isn't fun. No one in their right mind wants to stand here collecting eggs for 30 minutes. Like, I'm glad I finally got, you know, they added the ability for multiple eggs to be stacked up so you can collect multiple at once instead of collect one at a time, and then you have to go ride to get another one to spawn. But that's the only good thing about this. Like, at least with the riding around, you do something during that time, you know? It isn't completely visually uninteresting. There's a reason why no one's, like, watching this. So yeah, I kind of have to get this figured out. This isn't as bad as I thought it would be. But it's still pretty bad. Alright, come on. We don't have too much longer here. After this, I think we got like another 6 minutes of waiting. Because I pretty much started right at like around 1 minute of recording. Was when we started checking for eggs. It's actually... Something I hadn't been thinking about was that there's also the time spent running over here after you start the meal power, right? So it's really like less than 30 minutes from when I started, but yeah. It's not going to make that much of a difference in time, and it is like, you can, in theory, get another egg out of, you know, waiting even longer. It's just, the eggs aren't generated anywhere near as fast as when you have the egg power going. But anyways, we're almost good to go here. Almost. Oh god, sorry. I yawned really bad there. Okay. I did just pull up an image, which this is actually going to be pretty helpful. That there's an image that like shows all of the Pokemon that are going to be returning in either through Pokemon Home Transfer or through like the DLCs. Which actually, let me check that right now while I got it here. I'm not seeing Rattata. Not seeing Rattata. Oh. So I am gonna have to do the trading for Rattata in Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, which again we will go back to at some point here. But yeah, not this week. Maybe next week. We'll see how this week goes with Twitch. But yeah, and also I should say, we don't actually know 100% for sure that those Pokemon are coming. The ones on that image that I just brought up. But it's basically, it's all the Pokemon. So every Pokemon, even the ones that aren't in this game, they have some sort of Pokedex entry. It's mostly just like a placeholder, right? But with Sword and Shield, when we got the update right after the DLC was announced for that update, one of the things it did was it removed a bunch of the Pokedex entries, and every single one of those Pokedex entries that got removed was it was either added as through the DLC or it became Pokemon Home Transfer. So this is the same thing that happened with Scarlet and Violet. When we got the update for 1.2, a whole bunch of Pokemon had their Pokedex entries deleted, basically. So we're presuming that those are all Pokemon that will be available for transfer or will be in DLC. And an interesting thing was that actually more entries got deleted with the 1.3 update. So stuff like the Gen 5 starters, for instance, or specifically the Snivy and the Tepig lines. Originally, they weren't in any of the listing for that because their entries hadn't been deleted. But with the 1.3 update, their entries got deleted. There was a couple more as well with that. Still the like elemental monkey Pokemon from Gen 5, as well as Furfrou from Gen 6. Those are like the main ones that are still kind of absent from that because those are still evolution lines, or I mean it's species, I guess is more accurate because Furfrou, but those are still not available in any way on a Switch title. Anyways, 2 more minutes here and we'll be all wrapped up. Okay. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. Yeah. I can't wait for that. I am sad to see that Rattata isn't in that because, like, for instance, some of the Pokemon that are listed on there are like a Alolan Meowth and a Alolan Persian, or a Alolan Grimer and a Alolan Muck, where it's like, you know, Meowth and Grimer are in this game, but until Pokemon Home is updated, we won't be able to transfer over the Alolan versions. But that means I'm going to have to do even more hunting in Let's Go Eevee, which makes me sad. To be fair, I think it's possible. I mean, of course it's possible. They could add the Rattata line as well, but I'm not going to bet on that. Again, we do already kind of have a history. Well, I guess it's only one game, so maybe we shouldn't count as history. But it seems to be following the same path as how things ended up with the data mines of Sword and Shield. But yeah, I mean, do that. I still need to go and finish up my Pokedex for Legends Arceus again, so that way I can get the second Arceus, or my second Arceus, my second one, because I never actually got the one BDSP, because I want to shiny hunt that at some point. That's another one that's 1 in 4,000 odds. Okay, let's see here. So we got, well, we did get a little over 2 boxes. Okay, not too bad. Not too bad. I was a little bit worried. Pop down here. Grab our hatching Pokemon. Again, you just want something with Flame Body as the ability in your party. Or I think there are a couple others, but Flame Body is like the... I don't know why I left my boxes there. Flame Body is the most common one, I feel like. Like, typically people go with like a Chandelure or something. It doesn't really matter what the Pokemon is. Again, just have an ability that makes your eggs hatch faster. I also need to actually bring up my counter again. Okay. Oh. Meanwhile, as I'm doing that, I'm running into a pole. I swear to God. Or, damn it. Damn it! I was going to make the stupid I swear to drunk I'm not God joke, but then I said it like the way you would say if you weren't drunk. God damn it. The one time I want to speak incorrectly, and I fuck it up even then. Alright, hopefully some good luck with Tauros here tonight. Let's see what happens. Wow, that was awfully delayed. That's worrying. That's usually why I test it out before I actually get going. Yeah, the sound effect there took way too long to get going. Though, to be fair, that's like a recurring theme with my computer right now. Just like some things like OBS sometimes, especially OBS. OBS is like the big one. Or VC face, which I use for my V2 model. I'll like start them, and then like 30 seconds after I click on them, they'll finally start. But then if I close it and then immediately reopen it, or at any other point open it again on my computer before I turn my computer off, it'll just open up straight up, just fine. So I don't know. Well, I'm sure there is a problem with my computer, but like I'm not sure what the problem is there. But it's a little bit annoying. If I ever like do a new build, like, or specifically like upgrade my CPU, I will probably do just like a hard reset. The only thing with that sucks is there's so many like programs that I'm gonna have to go through and like hunt back down again, or just, you know, specifically install again. I don't know why I said hunt down. What's up, Xavier? Welcome in. Welcome back. Hope you've been having a good day. Alright, move these guys is over. We've only kind of just started working on Tauros tonight. So we've bred our first set of eggs, and now we're starting to hatch them. Alright. Alright, come on, Tauros. I really do hope I get this tonight. Just so that way I can, tomorrow we can do the Blissey raids, and then after that I can start a new hunt, but we'll see. I mean, again, I already had pretty good luck with normal Paldean Tauros. So, alright, we'll have to see. I mean, even if I go over odds, I really can't complain, right? But, because that's just how shiny hunting is. Yeah, definitely in the future here, I do want to get it set up in such a way that I don't really do the collecting eggs on stream, because this is... Well, this part is fine. I mean, this part is, you know... I'm not going to say it's not boring, because pretty much all shiny hunting is boring, but it's at least somewhat visually interesting, because you're doing anything. The standing still, staring at a bench collecting eggs, yeah, that ain't gonna cut it for very long. It's not bad as something to do in the background, but it, you know, that doesn't really make it good for streaming. But yeah, after the Tauroses, the Tauri, however you're supposed to say it. Is that all of them? That was all of them. Obviously, after this one, we have Aqua Breed. And then after that, I guess we'll move on into the starters. And just, like, start working our way up with that. Actually, I think after Aqua Breed Tauros, we'll probably do like cloth, not as breeding, but like as an encounter hunt, and I'll figure out like something else to hunt on that day as well. Because I do know that the encounter hunting it's definitely more interesting. I don't like it as much, but it is faster, and it is just more interesting for people to watch. But personally, I don't know. Even though again, I'm not real thrilled about how you collect the eggs in this game as compared to previous games. But I do generally just prefer breeding. Even though it takes way longer, there's not really a way to fuck it up. I say, even though I've found ways to fuck it up in the past. But, like, I'm not going to miss a shiny because I just happen to not see it, right? Like, even if I don't notice it, it will still end up in my boxes. And then when I go through and double check, then it'll be there. Whereas with an encounter hunt, if I don't see the shiny, I don't get the shiny. And yeah, I mean, like, you're way more likely to actually get a shiny from the encounters, you know? Or at least it's way faster. But just to me, just the, you know, I don't have to think about this at all. Because there is no concern about losing the shiny at all. Is that right? Hold on. We started at... Okay, yes. Sorry, I thought I got off count there. It's also, this is going to happen with some of these, I'm sure. Especially before I start, like, recollecting eggs. That on... Like my counter will get messed up, right? Because we're not collecting multiples of 5. Normally, that's what I would do with my, like in Sword and Shield. You know, I would collect 5, hatch those. Speaking of, let's move more eggs in. But yeah, collect 5 Pokemon, or 5 eggs, hatch those, collect 5 more, hatch those. So if at any point I stopped, or I was done hatching, and my counter didn't end in a 5 or a 0, I knew I'd fucked up somewhere. The Registeel was an interesting one. I believe Registeel I got 8 encounters out of every time before I would reset. So keeping track of that was a little bit more complicated. Basically what I did with that was I set up a like a calculator on my laptop, and just every time I would reset, I would hit enter on that, and it was just like set to always add 8 to the previous number. So I'd always know what number I was supposed to be ending on with each set. Which, I mean, worked. That was also that was when my laptop started having its issues where it would crash a lot, which was a driver issue, but it wasn't my fault that it was like a driver issue. It wasn't a thing where it's like, oh, I'm not updating, so just like some old bug driver. Actually, I was updating, but something about the Windows updater is really stupid, and it keeps on trying to put the wrong Intel driver on my fucking laptop. And the old Intel driver actually has a bug where the desktop window manager or whatever the service is, it had a memory leak in it, and so it would get to the point where it was using up all of my RAM. Hey, what's up, Koki? Welcome in. So yeah, that's annoying. And because of the brilliant piece of software that is Windows 10, and the forced updates once a month, well, there's ways around it, but in the past, I've not really needed to mess with those so much. Because, like, it was fine as long as you did it, but because of that, it keeps on trying to update to the wrong driver. It's just like, no, stop. God damn it. Windows. What's my favorite Pokemon this generation? Probably Skeledirge. As much as it might be kind of a cop-out to use a starter Pokemon for that question, but Skeledirge is just so freaking cool looking. The Dunsparce is your child. I like the Dunsparce. I love that they kind of just leaned into the meme. It's like, oh, okay, you guys finally want a Dunsparce evolution? Here you go. It's just as dumb as the original. Quaxly's a homie. Quaxly is the one I've definitely not used the most of. Unfortunately, it just, like, never really had a chance right off the bat, because it's like, well, you have the Grass Cat, and then I think I like Quaxly more than the base form for Skeledirge's evolution line. But Skeledirge itself is just so cool. looking back, there's literally 0 hints to it being a dragon. Is Quaxley a dragon? Or, you know, the final evolution, Quaquaval or whatever. I guess it's somewhat dragon-esque, but I would still think of it primarily as a duck. Oh, people want to oh, for Dunsparce. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why people thought that would have happened. Those people are not smart. Yeah, because, I mean, you're 100% right. There was never any indication that the Dunsparce was going to be a dragon. Also, we already got Gyarados 2.0. That was melodic. But I don't know. People are just... Like, I kind of do like that they just, like, leaned into it and was just like, nope, it's just as dumb as the original. Have fun. But also, they, like, you can have the 2 or the 3 segment form, so there's actually, like, a reason to care about it. Also, I mean, I don't think it's terrible, right? It's definitely more useful than Dunsparce's. Yeah, I don't know there's been many examples of Pokemon that were completely terrible. And then they got a new evolution. They were like God mode. Definitely they get better typically, but not like insane. You unironically like Gardevoir, Lopunny, and Vaporeon, but people still think you're horny. Oh, that goddamn Vaporeon copy pasta. Shiny Alpha Lopunny. I do remember the thing that before Legends Arceus came out, people are letting, or people are making jokes how Alpha Gardevoir was gonna be this year's lady, whatever the fuck the name of the giant woman in Resident Evil 8 is. Ow. Oh, hey, it would help if I actually take eggs back out. Yeah, I just can't pronounce her name. I, like, have an idea of it, but I know I'm just gonna massacre it. But you aren't wrong also. That other name also works fine. Rosalina is taller than Shaq. Not a bad Nintendo waifu. Yeah, I did not know that, really? She's taller than Shaq. What the fuck? Okay. That's interesting. Taller by 2 inches. That's, like, insane. Alright, so we're almost through one box of our eggs here. We got a little bit over 2, and then we'll see what else we get into tonight. Yeah, it'd be nice to get this tonight. Like I said, just move on into Aqua Breed on Saturday. Is that all of them? That is all of them. Damn it, I've been really bad about, actually, like, keeping up with the counter. I did, like, move them back in, right? Like the last time that I forgot to grab the actual eggs. But yeah, Koki, I don't mind it. Just try not to be too overbearing about that stuff in chat. Letting yourself. No worries. Not really too worried about it. It's more so I just don't know how to interact with that on stream, if that makes sense. Hey, what's up, Mr. Wayne? Welcome in. Welcome to the stream. Oh, God, I wish I wasn't so tired today. I usually try to be a little bit, at least have stuff to talk about, right? But, I don't know. Today I've just been tired, which is weird, because, like, I woke up and just was like, yep, I'm up, and thought I had a good amount of sleep, and wasn't, like, tired at work or anything, and then, yeah, I don't know. But I know shiny hunts aren't necessarily the most interesting thing when you have a streamer who isn't, like, really conversing at all, but I promise I usually do better. Shiny Dondozo spawn in front of me and I get scared to death. Nice. Yeah, Dondozo is a good one. It's a very obvious one. Unfortunately, I have zero interest in dealing with any of the, water-based Pokemon in terms of, encounter hunting. So unless it just, like, happens to spawn in front of me. Check this. Yep, there we go. This one again. That will definitely be one that gets bred for. Same with, like, Veluza and just any of the water Pokemon. I want nothing to do with those hunts. They would be, you know, worrying enough if I was, if I just had to worry about trying to see them in the water. But with how, like, this game runs, and, you know, we've now gotten another patch that does nothing to address how poorly the game runs, so it's probably safe to say this game's just gonna run like shit for its entire lifespan, which really sucks, because it's, like, the gameplay of it itself is awesome, and there's points where the game looks pretty good, if not in terms of frame rate, but at least in, like, visual fidelity. You got a dip. You're 3 seconds for passing out. No worries. Thanks for coming in, Koki, man. I appreciate it. See, I don't know. It just... Oops. It just sucks that it's always going to be held back. By the fact that it runs so poorly. And for a lot of people, that it runs so poorly that, like, they just can't enjoy it, which I do understand. I think Pokemon is the type of game that you can get past the performance issues and still enjoy it. As opposed to something like, you know, if like an FPS ran like Pokemon Scarlet and Violet do, it would be unplayable, right? The game isn't unplayable, it's just unenjoyable at times. But some people are going to be more sensitive about that. But I mean, even people that aren't, like, even if you get used to it or you can get over it, it's still just, it sucks, man. Like, there's no excuse for it to be as bad as it is. Especially when you have stuff like, you know, we have, not Breath of the Wild 2, I know that's not what it's actually called, Tears of the Kingdom or whatever, and, like, how that's seeming to look so far. And everything, it's like, oh, you had a happening outbreak, wanted to do it, it was inside a mountain, yeah. Yeah, I mean, some of that stuff spawning inside walls, which, you know, I'd be a lot more forgiving of if the game ran properly. Because, like, it's an open world game, dumb shit happens, you know, but, like, as long as they, you know, get around to fixing it anyways, then it's fine. Well, it's not fine, but it, you know, it's understandable. But with how, like, just everything about this game performance-wise is so bad, it's just like, you're not really gonna get any leeway with the community there. Laggy Lake, Bamboo Forest, and Jungle, yeah. Like, there's some areas that are, like, even if they're not unplayable, you're sitting there like, Jesus, this game's gonna crash. And you're, like, terrified to stick around in that area. But, you know, it is what it is. Fortunately, again, at least for, like, battles and stuff, typically it's pretty stable and consistent. And, I mean, that is, you know, a pretty important part of the game, right? The battling. It's just that also this is an open world game, so the exploring is also a very important part, and it's not as satisfying as it should be. Some of that is just the Switch, but a lot of it is just the developers. Because again, you have titles like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom where, you know, don't get me wrong, Breath of the Wild crashes sometimes, it has its issues, but it also looks way better and mostly runs way better. But also at the same time, if Pokemon wasn't on the Switch, if it was on something that wasn't a 6-year-old console using 8-year-old hardware that's underclocked, you know, like, they at least could kind of brute force it to be an acceptable level. But they don't have that option with the Switch at all. I just will always find that hilariously stupid about the Switch that it's literally, again, like it came out in 2017, right? Early 2017. The hardware it uses is tablet hardware that NVIDIA made in 2015. And then on top of that, it doesn't even run at the correct speed. They underclocked the hell out of it. Probably because they wanted to make sure that it would be more consistent and not, like, wear down over time, because heat is really bad for silicon, but, like, come on. You hate all the trees and bushes and grass, wind is constantly moving. It's a little bit much at times, yeah. My big thing is it, like, especially, like, the desert over by the ports where the, like the Dunes Desert, we'll call it, is, like, always constantly has a fucking sandstorm going on. Not always, but it damn well seems like it. And it's like, this is just awful. Like, I don't mind trees and stuff moving around a little bit because it, you know, adds a little bit of life to the world. But, like, fuck, dude. Like, I would like to be able to see what I'm doing. Ice Mountain, yeah. I feel like Ice Mountain isn't as bad. Like, the snowstorms aren't as common. But, yeah, I mean, it's another thing where it's, like, just... Like, it's fine sometimes, but... I feel like the effect is way too much, at least in the overworld. And... It's just... And also, again, like, it... Especially in the desert, it tanks the hell out of the FPS. So you're just like, okay, cool. Like, when I did my Reller hunt, which, you know, went really insanely well, but when I did that, I was, like, scared to even look in one direction because the FPS would drop so much. Like, it ran mostly fine, facing away from, whatever the town with the gym is. Or, like, kind of, if I faced, like, generally away from that town, then it ran fine. But if I was looking somewhat towards that town, like, the FPS would just start dropping quick. And it's like, ugh. Fortunately, Reller is a very obvious shiny, even with the sandstorm going on. One of my favorite things about this generation was, like, how they've added some texture to the Pokemon, so they don't just look so plastic. Like, you can see Tauros here, it looks like it actually kind of has, like, hair or fur, instead of just being, like, a solid texture. And then also for, like Pokemon that are metallic, they actually have, like, a little bit of a shine to them. And also, they can actually change the texture. Like, the visual kind of how the, oops. How, like, the, how do I want to describe it? Basically, so, like, with Reller, right, it normally is rolling around a ball of mud, right? Which it's a very flat, not reflective texture. But the shiny, it's actually rolling around a gold nugget, so it is, like, it's reflective. It looks like a ball of gold, which is, like, really cool. They can do that now. The reason why I was kind of getting caught up there is because the texture file for, like, all the Pokemon is, you know, that's what it's referred to, the thing that, like, handles what the Pokemon actually looks like, and it gets kind of layered onto the 3D model. And that's why I was getting hung up there, because I was trying to come up with a different way to describe it, even though I think most people would have understood what I meant anyways. shiny hunted in bamboo forest. I'm so scared it ran out of range. Yeah, it's some issues with this game. But again, like, there's a lot of positives. Like, gameplay-wise, it's probably the most fun of any of the mainline games. It still kind of would have been nice if we would have kept some of the catching mechanic stuff from Legends Arceus, but I'm really glad they didn't carry over the battle mechanics. I didn't really enjoy the agile and strong style. Sorry. I didn't really enjoy that system. Or the fact, like, if you were going to use an item, like, you didn't... I don't know if there's any way to know if you were going to still get another turn before the opponent moved, or if they were going to move before you. There was, like, nothing to show that, and... there was just... I don't know. It just wasn't very satisfying to do. So I definitely, like, prefer the classic battle style. But being able to catch stuff in the open was, like, really cool. And they kind of kept some of that stuff, right? Because, I mean, you can still, like, crouch in the grass. And you can still kind of surprise Pokemon by, like, throwing your Pokemon at it. I forget if there is a thing where if you strike them from behind, is it like a preemptive thing? Or like a preemptive strike? Like an RPG or not? I remember it was in Legends Arceus. I don't remember if that's in this game. I basically never do it, though. I just run into the Pokemon. Because, you know, if you can't just, like, catch them in the wild, then kind of who cares? You can catch them off guard. Okay. Just wondering. Like I said, I just... ended up not being something that I ever used in this game. But yeah, just like overall, the gameplay is way better. It just runs really badly. And we're getting other stupid Game Freak issues. Like, again, now the game's going to have been out for 6 months and we don't have Pokemon Home support. And it's just like, that can't be an issue. Like, we gave them some credit, at least with Legends Arceus, right? Because Legends Arceus was a completely different stat mechanic. So, like, and they made it so that unlike Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, you can just freely transfer Pokemon in and out of Legends Arceus, as long as they're in the decks for Legends Arceus, instead of, like, being locked out because it didn't come from that game originally or whatever. But, like, now this is 2 releases in a row where we're not getting Pokemon Home for 6 months, and that doesn't feel like an accident anymore. That feels intentional. Like, they're intentionally... I mean, they already intentionally held back that kind of stuff with Pokemon Bank in the past, right? It was always, like, 3 months. And it's like, no, why are you doing that? I know the reason why is because they want to force people to play through the game without just importing Pokemon, but just like more than 1 month is way too much, even for that purpose. But now again, we're like going multiple months, and we're hoping we get Pokemon Home in May. We have no actual idea. So it's just issues like that. Primarily that and the performance of the game. I'm trying to think if there's any, like, other glaring... I mean, the entire, like, raid mechanic is busted as hell. Just because it just breaks all the time. It's not as bad as it was at launch, but I mean, it functions at all, so that's better than at launch for the most part. I shouldn't say that. It wasn't super terrible, like, for single player, but, like, online is still a mess. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, it's such a shame that they fumbled so hard with the performance. Because it's just so indefensibly bad. And otherwise, I mean, like, don't get me wrong, the game probably should be better overall regardless, just because it's Pokemon. Like, this is a franchise that brings in so much freaking money, and we get, like, games that probably shouldn't cost more than $30, to be honest. In terms of just, like, you know, the game doesn't, even if it ran properly, it doesn't necessarily look great. There's some areas where it does look pretty good. But in general, it still doesn't look fantastic. Animations could be better, you know, stuff like that. Stuff that, again, if it was like a $30 or $40 game, I'd be a lot more like, eh, okay, whatever. It's not even a full price game. But it's, with how much money this franchise makes, they should be putting in more than the most bare minimum effort. Love the game, but it just needs more help. Yeah, I mean, that's one of the biggest issues, right? That Game Freak has this issue where they don't want to expand their team. But like, the reality of just how video games are, for AAA games typically anyways, is they're getting more and more expensive to produce, and it's gonna keep taking more and more people to do it and keep up the quality, especially as you move into, you know, doing 3D titles. Yeah. 3D as in, like, 3D models, not like, you know, 3D goggles or like VR stuff. Although, I mean, also that stuff I'm sure is also a nightmare, but yeah, it's like they need to step it up and improve their staff so that way they can actually make the games that justify the expense and how many sales they get, you know? But, you know, at the same time, they're not going to do that because assholes like me keep on buying multiple copies of the same game, so it's like, also can't really complain when you're part of the problem. They know we are addicted. Yeah, I mean, it's a thing that I've brought up before, that it, you know, I'm stealing this from someone else, and I don't know who it was that said it originally, but that the problem with any Pokemon like clone game is it doesn't matter how good the game will be. They could have all the features the community asked for, they can do everything right, but the fact of the matter is it'll never have actual Pokemon in it, right? It'll never have Tauros or Pikachu or Eevee or stuff like that. So it's just like, for a lot of us, it's just like, okay, well, we're kind of stuck. Anyways, so no shiny in that batch, so go ahead and reset. Mostly just so I don't have to release all those damn Pokemon. We'll do at least one more set of eggs here. See how we do tonight. Hopefully we can get in this second set here. I'm kind of leaning towards this being my my second set tonight, or my last set tonight. Not farming Blissies. I will be tomorrow, not tonight. But yeah, I do plan on doing the Blissey raids tomorrow night. Should be fun. We'll get lots of Terra shards out of it. I'm assuming my my Iron Hands is gonna work just fine. Because it's I mean, it's already fighting type, right? And it does physical damage, so Doing that right now, just one-shotting them. Perfect. I assume that, I guess you wouldn't know if you're just one-shotting them, but I assume that soft-boiled and heal pulse are, like, based on the original HP for the Pokemon, not the, like, boost that it gets to HP from the raid, where it's like 25 times the normal HP or something like that. Because if the Pokemon could get half of that HP bar back, like the raid HP bar back, that could be a problem. Doing the Ursa Ring strat? Oh, okay. What is the Ursa Ring strat? Again, I was just expecting to, actually, I might not even need a Drain Punch. I might do Close Combat. But yeah, I was just going to cheese it with the Iron Hands. Max HP and attack, ability, guts, hold, flame orb. Okay. So yeah, just try to do as much damage as possible then. Makes sense. I mean, that's typically what the strat is. I did enjoy the Ditto raids, where the strategy was to use a low-level Magikarp and just let your team cheese it to death. Even with the AI, it would still, like, one-shot it. Belly Drum, Facade, Crunch, Close Combat. Yep, okay. Makes sense. Belly Drum first and pick your move. Okay. I mean, so yeah, I mean, that's like a normal strat. I think it's the same thing with like a Azumarill and Iron Hands. You just Belly Drum, and then as long as you survive that first hit after Belly Drumming, just whatever you use will one-shot it. Yeah, that'll be fun. Get into that tomorrow. Hopefully get enough Terra Shards that I can, like, sell some stuff. Even though I don't really need to too badly right now. Especially since we were able to reuse, reuse Annihilate for, whatchamacallit? Oh. For Typhlosion. So we used that for Samurott and Typhlosion, so it, like, I didn't have to make another new Pokemon. You're making multiple bears with different moves to cover more Terra types. Right, because... Oh, right. Because, yeah, the Terra typing. I was only thinking about the fact that it's a normal type, but yeah. I guess it would be helpful to have more stuff. I don't know. I think I'll probably just be fine with Iron Hands. You use Fluttermane for Typhlodes? Oh, interesting. I didn't even think of using Fluttermane. I think everyone just, like... Or a lot of the people, anyways, I saw were just like, yeah, just use the... Use the Annihilate. It isn't, like, a perfect strat, but it works well enough. I only failed a couple of raids using it. And that was, I think, partially I didn't fully understand the mechanics at first. So sometimes my my team was... We would do too much damage at the start, and so it would have its shield way too low down into the health bar. So then I would start getting off some of the additional moves to... Before you get the... Before, like, you would get the shield down. God, I'm tired. Fluttermane is boosted by Sunny Day. Oh, yeah, that's true. And you don't have to use the booster energy to do it, so you can use Shell Bell or whatever you need to. That's a very good point. Use a Flutter. Well, I'm not worried about Typhlosion because I already got one and I already did grinding on it last week, so I don't really need to again. But thank you, though. Yeah, I have a Flutter Mane set up from Charizard. Interestingly enough. That was like the go-to strat for that. Well, we had a Flutter Mane, and then the next two raids, which were what? Cinderace and Greninja. And we pretty much just used Slowbro for those. And then I forget what the strat was for Pikachu. I forget what the strat was for Decidueye as well. But yeah, now we've had another 2 in a row that Annihilate worked well enough on. Want the Flutter build? I'm good, man. Thank you, though. I'm sure I can find it on Reddit or something. But like I said, I've already done what I care to with the Typhlosion. And for like general use, I still have the Flutter Mane from Charizard. Well, that was a poor collection. Alright. Oh, I wish this part of shiny hunting was a little bit more interesting. I know I keep on kind of complaining about it, but I get why they changed it from like the daycare center mechanic. And in theory, I don't hate this. I just like, I don't know. It needs to be something more interesting. Because, like, you have a sandwich that lasts for 30 minutes, and it boosts the speed at which you collect eggs. So it's just like, naturally you're going to want to sit here for 30 minutes to get the most out of the sandwich. I know it also makes it faster to hatch them, but it doesn't take that long to hatch them. You know? And at least when you're hatching, you're doing something, whereas this is just sitting here not doing anything. So it just... there needed to be something else to this, because just standing here looking at the basket and just, like, interacting with it every couple of minutes is not a good way to do it. Granted, I'm sure they would rather people just, like... God, another shitty set. They would rather people just do encounters and stuff, which, you know, again, encounters are more visually interesting to be doing, and they do go faster, because, again, that's part of, I think they want to encourage that, but it is supposed to be a mechanic, right? So, I don't know, just don't make it not as enjoyable. Because you do basically need to use a sandwich. If you're just trying to get one egg, just for, like, you know, breeding a Pokemon so you can trade it to your friend or something, then, even then, though, it takes so long. Like, just egg power 1 is 5 times faster for spawning eggs than no meal powers whatsoever. And 2 is, like, 7 times, I think. 3 is 10 times, but you have to use Urban Mystica for that. Please don't use Urban Mystica just for collecting eggs. If it, like, also boosted your shiny odds on the eggs, then that would be cool, but, you know, you could use that. But if it, you know, it just doesn't, so don't do that. It's, unless you have, like, a tremendous, amount of Urban Mystica, it just doesn't really make any sense. Especially for, you know, it's basically The same boost from no meal power to level 1 is the same as the boost from level 1 to level 3. So it's just compared to that, it's like, eh. And, you know, the boost over 2, it's just, it's not worth it. It would need to, like, what is happening? Why is this being so awful right now? I'm actually going to pack up real quick, and I just want to check where I'm at. Okay, so 20 more minutes. Okay. It's less than 20 minutes, but it's close enough. And also just to reset this, because I know it doesn't make a difference, but it just feels not right. Hopefully now we'll get a little bit better luck. Probably not. If anything, this first set is not going to be as good because I spent time not in the picnic. I don't know. I really wish there was just some way to, like... just some way to do the breeding while just, like, running around and doing other stuff. That's, like, the worst part about this. Is, like, you're stuck in the picnic. You can't do anything else. It's not even like, you know, like if there's other stuff that I can do, but it's like, yeah, you know, you can just stand there and look at it, but, you know, you can go do something else too, then that would be fine. But this is just like, all you can do is play with your Pokemon, but that's interesting for all of like a few seconds. Anyways, I'll stop complaining about this now. I'll wait till at least the next stream, maybe. Really? You're gonna be a pain in the ass? It's like sitting right in a spot where I can't stay on the other side of the basket. Or I'll interact with it instead of collecting from the basket. Which is not ideal. Are you okay there, Shadows? Speaking of visual issues, the conversation we had a little while ago. There we go. This is going much better. Again, it's all just random chance, but I wanted to check on where I was on the sandwich anyways. Fortunately, another 20 minutes. But then we can get back to the good stuff. And hopefully I can get back to not hitting my microphone arm every time I blink in the wrong direction. Yeah, I definitely will have to be automating this in the future. Or not just automating, but do it off stream in the future. Because this you know, this just isn't interesting. This part of it. I mean, obviously, I know, again, shiny hunting is kind of a niche audience anyways, but it's at least somewhat interesting because it's like, oh yeah, hey, maybe, you know, it's like gambling. Kind of. Not, Twitch, don't ban me. But, you know, you're rolling the odds with RNG. Whereas, you know, this, I don't know. It's, I know, I need to stop complaining about it, but there's like nothing else to talk about because nothing is happening with this. And the stuff that I would like try and talk about is like, just like stuff that nobody cares about. Like in theory, I could talk about like baseball for a little bit, but I don't know that anyone that would watch this is going to care about baseball in any way. You need to be high to be brain dead, hatching all night with music on? Yeah. I don't mind it taking a long time, but there has to, like, even if it is tedious or repetitive or whatever, like, you know, with Sword and Shield, where you just ride around in front of the Pokemon, or in front of the daycare center. Oh, sorry again, God. In front of the daycare center, or like across the bridge for hours at a time. And it's like, it's not terribly interesting, but it's at least something. Like, that, I can deal with it just, like, not being interesting. There just has to be some interaction whatsoever. Sword and Shield is longer to hatch in. I mean, it was faster than BDSP. I don't know which one is faster, this or Sword and Shield. Let me see. I actually have a thing for it. I feel like it was way faster to hatch in Sword and Shield, because I do actually have a thing, like a little text file that I made for when I was doing breeding in Sword and Shield for on stream, and just so that way, like, I could gauge how many eggs that I would need to do, like, a 3-hour stream. If I was, like, collecting the eggs beforehand anyways. And, my rate for a Pokemon with a step rate of 3,840 was 120 an hour. And with this, which with Tauros, it's like 2,500, or like, I think, yeah, it's like 2,560 for the step rate. So it's even faster in theory, but I'm doing like 60 every 45 minutes. So that, like, that doesn't seem to quite line up. I might, what I might do at some point here is I'll just pull open one of my VODs on my video editor and just time from, like, when I start hatching to when I end, and just, like, take that exact time and how many I hatch and then just do the math. But I do really feel like this game takes longer. Because it does depend on the Pokemon, but I mean, even like comparing Pokemon that are the same, I feel like it just takes longer. Part of that, wasn't there? No, there was, I was thinking there's the charm, the like oval charm in Sword and Shield, but that just makes eggs spawn faster. It doesn't help them hatch any faster. Alright. Got like another 10 minutes here still. And this could be part of why it feels like it takes so much longer, because it, like, this just makes it feel like it takes forever, but I think just, like, comparing my times from Sword and Shield to what it seems to be in this, I'm leaning towards more Sword and Shield. The other nice thing was Sword and Shield, I can kind of automate it a little bit using the switch up thing. The main thing with the switch up is it lets you plug in like an Xbox controller and use that instead of the Joy-Cons, which is awesome. But it does have like some macro stuff built in. So it's just nice that I could, you know, before, like during the afternoon before my stream, I could let the game just run and collect like a few hundred eggs, and then just like hop into the stream that night after work, and then skip the collecting egg part of it, which would be awesome for this. But that you could automate because it was always the same. There was in a spot where you weren't going to get random encounters, and it could just always do the exact same pattern. But with the Pokemon moving around in the picnic, it's not as guaranteed. Like we saw, you know, a little bit ago with Tauros getting in the way. But I think even, honestly, as long as I just, like, check in on it every couple of minutes, or even, I don't know, maybe just, like, set it up so that it's, like, the window's, like, in a corner on my, my desktop while I do other stuff, so I just have to check it every once in a while. That could work fine. But yeah, I think, tomorrow night, like after the stream or something, or like tonight, I'll start picking at it. I'm gonna figure out getting that set up properly, because, you know, this is just like, just in terms of pure content, not even considering the fact that it's just like not good gameplay, but it's not good stream gameplay. I love how I've been saying for like 10 minutes I'm gonna stop complaining about it. I'm so sorry. But for pretty much anything that I can't breed in this game, so like obviously brand new Pokemon, Gen 9 Pokemon, but also just like anything that's in this game that like that's from a previous gen but I haven't bred yet. Like let's say the Cinderace line, for instance. I am gonna be doing those shiny hunts in this game in general. When I have to go back to the other games, I will go back to them. Like again, I have a Alolan Raichu hunt that I need to go back to in Let's Go Eevee. Well, all 4 of the Alolan form Pokemon. But I've already started the Raichu one, because I still need Alolan Raichu, Alolan Marowak, and then Alolan Rattata and Raticate. Everything else I can breed. I think pretty much everything else I'll be able to breed in these games? Man, oh, you know what? Vulpix I might not be able to. Vulpix I might have to do in Sword and Shield. But at least I can breed them somewhere and not have to do a 1 in 4,000 odds hunt where you just trade over and over again with the in-game trade. Fortunately, at least you don't need to reset for like each trade. The game will let you keep doing trades as long as you have Pokemon. But it's still like, that still sucks, you know? It's such low odds for that. But yeah, that's a hunt that within the next couple of weeks here, we'll see. I'm gonna start doing like one of those hunts a week, right? Or, you know, like I'll stream hunting for Alolan Raichu like once a week. I don't want to do it too much because, again, it's going to be a really long hunt, and I don't want to be completely burnt out on it. Like, one day I'll go back to Registeel. One day. But it's not going to be any day soon. Because I just have no interest in going back to that game. Or, I shouldn't say going back to that game. I'm fine with going back to Sword and Shield at some point. I'm not fine with going back to Registeel. 3,800 encounters, I still don't have it. And it just takes so long. Like, I think pushing through the Alolan form trades is still faster than doing Registeel. Maybe. Not, yeah, probably, because you don't have to, like, redo the puzzle, if you can even call it a puzzle, the, like, floor tiles. You don't have to redo that when you're doing the trades, obviously, and then also, you only reset every 50 trades. Do you fucking mind, Tauros? Every 50 trades instead of, like, every 7 or 8, encounters. Bro, what the fuck? I don't know why Tauros is being such a pain in the ass this time around. Usually it's like maybe once there's a point where the Pokemon's gonna like interfere, but it's doing it multiple times and like just standing there. I haven't really had that issue yet. Anyways, though, we are almost done collecting here, so we can get back to the hatching, get back to the good stuff. I do wonder if there is a sweet spot here where you don't ever, like, get interfered with the Pokemon. Hopefully there is. If there is, that'd be awesome, because then I can just automate it and not worry about it. Just check it every 30 minutes. Alright, almost done. We got like 1 more minute on this set of eggs, and then just like another 2 minutes. Get back into our hatching, see what we get tonight. I think I will only be doing this last one here, but again, we'll see how I feel at the end of hatching them. But yeah, then we'll be back tomorrow with Blissey raids. We'll be back Saturday and Sunday with more of this. Hopefully with, like, something set up to do it. Yeah. Oh, right. I actually need to collect them. I don't have it automated yet. Yeah, I know apparently some people that are, like, aren't okay with, like, using a macro to collect them automatically for you. My response to that is this sucks. Like, more so than even, like, Sword and Shield. Like, Sword and Shield, I did it specifically just so that way I could speed up the hunts a little bit. Partially so I can have the more interesting stuff on stream, but also, like, it sped things up a little bit, and I was, like, really trying to have my Galarian forms done before these games, Scarlet and Violet, came out. Which, I guess you can argue it's cheating, but, like, it's still time that I can't play my Switch, so it's not like it's, you know, there's nothing, it costs me something, even if it's only, time that I can't play a video game, boo-hoo, but, and also, you know, it's just tedious, time-consuming. It was better for content. This, straight up, this just sucks. I know, again, I said I would stop complaining, and in 40 seconds or so here, I will stop complaining. But it's just not a good gameplay mechanic. Telling you to basically just sit here and not do anything for 30 minutes is a not good choice. I would assume their intent is that, oh, you'll do it for like maybe a few minutes, get some eggs, hatch them, then hop back into a picnic, do it again. But it doesn't make any sense to do that. Like, the people that are going to breed more than a couple of Pokemon, right, again, just for, like, trading to their friends or whatever, if you're either breeding for stats or breeding for shininess, it just doesn't make any sense from an efficiency standpoint to be hopping in and out of the picnic. So it only makes sense to be there, and there's nothing to do in the picnic, you know? But again, we've rehashed that couple. God, that one sucked. We didn't even get 60 eggs out of it. Okay. Alright, so what we got here... Was it 54 eggs? Wow. Oof. Not great. Not great. But, alright, let's... Once again, I'm leaving boxes when I don't need to. Get these moved over. Then back up to this. Alright, so I should end at 252 for my Pokemon, or for my number of hatches here. Oh, we are at 1256. So that way I can kind of like actually have an idea of the time on this. Even though I'll probably forget by the time we get to the end that I cared. Also, I think for our next hunt, I might go to a different area to do it. Not that it is going to make any difference in terms of like the shiny hunt, but it'll at least be a change of scenery. That way it isn't like the bridge and Sword and Shield, where it's just like literally just one location that gets burned into your brain because it's literally all you look at for hours. There's a couple towns I can ride around. I can at least go back to the second, or the first like little town that you come across before you get up to Mesa Goza. Just like get up to that and we can run around there and do it. Basically just somewhere that isn't too laggy, and it has a spot that I can run around in that's like near to the edge of the town, so that way I can just like do a picnic, and then as soon as the picnic's done, hop back over. I think Lavencia might actually be okay for it. Because I think there's a spot near where the like southern Pokemon Center, where it's like a kind of back exit to the town that like takes you to this little area that also has like a small coast for it. That area could work. But again, I do know that the little... God, I forget what the name of the town is in, like, Gold version, for instance. Not New Bark Town, and not whatever that first, like, city is with the gym. But, like, the one that's, just a little, you know, little starter town that you encounter that doesn't have a gym or anything. It's just, like, there. Because I know that has a good spot. I would do Mesa Goza, but that's... there's nowhere to picnic there. So it's just a lot of wasted time. Oh, but you know what? That's right. Well, I can look. Because part of why this works so well is because it's right next to the open world is that restaurant that has the food that I need. So I'll have to look up where the other places that have that. I know there's like 3 other cities or something, but depending on where those restaurants are, it might not work as well. I do really hate how the camera gets all like screwy. It's like the camera, for whatever reason, ends up drifting back behind where it's supposed to be. But then when you turn it, it still pivots like it's right up behind your character, but it's like too far back, so it's actually like turning, instead of turning around the character, it's just turning to the right, kind of. I don't know if I'm explaining it very well. I'm probably not. Come on, give me the darker head Tauros, please. It's such a shame that this is like a not great shiny. Like that, you know, it's only a thing. I'm not sure what's worse. The like puke green shiny of Cantonian Tauros, where it's like, yeah, it's ugly as hell, but at least you know it's shiny. Or this one where it doesn't visually look bad. In fact, it might look a little bit better even, I think, than the non-shiny version. But, like, you can't really tell, so who cares? Because I do think it looks a little bit better with the darker head and body and the little bit lighter mane, but it's not really much to care about, you know? But at least music's always good. Both in Pokemon and like what I'm actually using on stream. It's so nice there's like good options for DMCA free music. I put eggs in, right? Yes. Because like I know YouTube has like their like catalog of music that you're allowed to use. I think Twitch has something for that as well, I want to say. I saw that quite recently. But like, the music for that stuff is not really great. But like Harris Heller, you know, he just does all the different playlists, and it's all pretty damn good. Some questionable decisions, like songs that have really long outros that are just dead air. Or I know there's at least the one, and I always forget which one it is and which playlist. But it plays like a static sound at the end of it, and it's like, it always makes me panic that something's breaking. I'm like, oh no. Not now. But yeah, I mean, besides that, it's pretty damn good. Because they definitely did not always used to be the case where you could do that. I mean, granted, Twitch is, generally you can just play whatever the hell you want on Twitch. You just have to make sure that the VOD doesn't stay up. But like, you know, that isn't helpful for YouTube, right? I like uploading my stuff to YouTube. But obviously YouTube is going to take down the video, or mute the video or whatever if there's a bunch of copyrighted music in it. I mean, there are other options too. Like, you can do Monster Cat. Monster Cat, it is... I don't think they ever will mute a video or a stream. They'll just, like, claim the monetization on it. But if you do, like, they're like $5 a month. It used to be called Monster Cat Gold. It might still be Monster Cat Gold. I think if I remember correctly, it used to be Monster Cat Gold. And then you could also, on top of that, get the thing that let you basically use most of their music. See, you can see here the way that, like, the camera is, like, moving way far inside, because where it's pivoting is not correct. Whereas, once we get done with the zig here, normally it's going to, like, pivot around the character and go right on there. That's why it feels so weird when it gets desynced like that, because it's just like, it feels like it's more of a suggestion, your camera movement. Yeah, you can see here, like, you always stay kind of centered. But yeah, anyways, I know Monster Cat has their stuff, which, especially for like a more chill stream, the like Monster Cat Silk is probably pretty good. I just wish they had a better way to handle it. I don't know, because you can't use all of their music. It's a majority of it, but there are some songs that just like the licensing agreement is different, and so they can't offer it for that. But like, if you just go and like play a Monster Cat playlist, it's not guaranteed that stuff won't be in there, right? And then it's like, oh well, hey, you bought the thing, but this song that you're not allowed to use for that is on there, so get fucked. And like, I know their web player has a way to like, if you go through their website, it has a way to filter out all the non-licensable songs, basically, but it's like, then like that doesn't necessarily work with the now playing thing, so it's, I don't know. Maybe they have something for that now, though. I don't know. But for now, I'm okay with just using Spotify and now playing, because it's, Spotify is annoying to me. Spotify just does so much stupid shit sometimes. Like, their shuffle is not really a shuffle at all. It's basically they take like one of 20 songs that they've decided for whatever arbitrary amount of time they decide for. They're gonna like try and constantly fucking play. Like, there have been so many times where like I will start playing new from a playlist, and within like the first 5 songs, like, I'll get a song, and then the next time I do it, I'll get that song within the first 5 again. And the next time I do it, I get that same song. It's just like, fuck off. I went, like, the reason why I have this giant playlist is so that way I can listen to more than the same 5 fucking songs. Spotify. Like, just shuffle my fucking music. Don't play your fucking algorithm game bullshit. Just fucking shuffle it. If I don't want to listen to the song, then I'll just skip it. But also, they've started doing this fantastic thing where they are desperately trying to keep my phone and my computer synced, which I understand some of the logic why they do that. The problem is that It used to be it would just sync it, and it was fine. It did, like, it, you know, it's like, okay, well, that's a little bit annoying, but whatever. And then for a while, it was set where basically, it, like, they were always... If I opened up Spotify while I had music playing on my PC, then it would, like, go to that song, basically, and then I could control it from my phone, which is, like, that's a cool way to do it. But if I just, like, had one or the other open, it wouldn't sync that, so that way if I started, you know, if I like listen to music at work or at my other job, my actual job, this doesn't pay me anything, and anyways, but yeah, if I like do that and then I come back and I'm like getting ready to stream, I'll still be at wherever I was previously with my PC Spotify, which was great because it's like it's just a little bit faster to get back to like changing which playlist I want to do, because I don't necessarily have the Harris Heller playlist saved. I probably should. I would actually help a little bit, but it doesn't help. My main issue is that now they've changed it back again. They're trying to sync them, but they do it very, very fucking poorly. So it like lags way behind. There have been multiple times going to my actual job where I will open Spotify and I'll see whatever the last song was that I was playing on my phone. And I'll just be like, you know what? Let's just play from there. That's fine, right? Because I'm just going to play on the same playlist anyways. And then it'll play it for like 10, 15 seconds. And then it will change it to whatever the last playlist I was on my PC. After it's already like mid playing another song, it'll just switch to something else. It's like, oh, we synced, so now you obviously want to play this instead. No, assholes. If I wanted to play that, I would have gone and selected it. And it also really pisses me off that I've done it before, that I will open up my my thing, and instead of just playing from that song, I will go and manually select, like, you know, the same song that was already on my phone. That was like the last song that I was playing. I will go and actually just select a different song. It's like, I just want to start it on a different song. And then that'll play for like 10 or 15 seconds. And then even though I went in and manually selected a song that I wanted to fucking play for my playlist, it'll change me to a different playlist again. What the fuck? Fuck off. Nobody in their right mind is okay with, oh yeah, I started playing this song for 15 seconds, but you realize that 12 hours ago on my computer I was playing a different song, so change me back to that. Yeah, please. Nobody fucking wants that. You fucking idiots. Spotify is just so fucking dumb. But like, it, you know, what are my other options? Like, really? It's like Google Music, which might work fine, but I just have never used it. I don't know if it works with now playing, and that's a whole other can of worms, because now, oh boy, another fucking piece of my life is locked into the fucking Google ecosystem. Great, that's just grand. Yeah, give me more of that, please. What I would love is if they would just fucking put it back the way it was. Why companies have this obsession with constantly changing their shit for no fucking reason, I will never understand. Like, YouTube likes to do that every once in a while, where they'll just completely overhaul the look of the fucking website. And it's like, who wanted this? This is, like, awful. Because you all of a sudden have to relearn the entire fucking website, because nothing looks the same. I don't know. There's just so many weird decisions. But it's like, again, you know, going back to locking more of my life behind Google, it's like, well, you don't really have much choice. Because what am I going to do for YouTube, right? As an alternative. Vimeo? Like, there really just isn't another option. Especially for, like, games. Like, I don't even know if Vimeo is going to let you put games on it. Or video game gameplay. It might, I just have no idea. But it's just, so yeah, it's like, okay, well, if you want to do this, then you don't have a choice. Like, I fucking hate Amazon with a burning passion. But, like, my options for streaming are Twitch, YouTube, which, to be fair, I'm kind of wishing I would have gone with YouTube at this point when I was deciding which one I was going to end up using. But, again, then just more stuff behind Google, and like, is it any better to be on Amazon? No, but also, like, at least it's more spread out, so it's not just one company having every single fucking account of mine. Though, I mean, to be fair, you could argue whether or not that's better or worse. But then, I mean, you could do Facebook gaming. Jesus Christ. If my options were stream on Facebook gaming or don't stream, I'll just not stream. Like, I hate Amazon with a fiery passion. And that doesn't even, like, remotely come into the same zip code as towards my feelings that I have with Facebook. And also, like, fucking Facebook gaming. Really? Fuck that. No. Ugh. Like, is anyone watching anything on Facebook gaming? Like, really? Like, what, Kick? Okay. We'll see how long that site's around. I would love for another competitor in the live streaming scene, but one that's like, yeah, there's no terms of service, even though there is. And apparently every one of their users thinks that's a license to break every fucking possible copyright law at every possible opportunity. Yeah, they're not going to be sticking around for very long. And even if they are, that's, you know, again, it's the same thing as, well, not the same as with Facebook, but it's like the same idea that, like, I just wouldn't stream on it because it's just, being connected to that platform is probably just like content suicide is the best way I can call it. Like, you're pretty much stuck there because no one outside of it is ever going to want anything to deal with your shit because of how just awful the people on that platform are. So yeah, it just sucks that if you want to, like, do anything with regards to streaming or, like, content creation, you're pretty much just stuck with, like, these companies that are, at best, extremely annoying and at worst, just actively awful and horrible companies. But it's either be on their platform or don't do it at all, so... anyways. It's not looking good for me here in terms of getting this shiny tonight. I think we are going to wrap up after we finish off this group of eggs that we have here. Like all the ones that I've collected so far, not like just the 5 in my party right now. But yeah, so assuming we don't get it in the next couple, I will pick this back up on Saturday. Again, tomorrow will be Blissey raids. We'll just mess around with that for a little bit. Hopefully just one-shot stuff. Seems like it should work. Because if close combat doesn't work, then we can just, like, Thunder Punch. And I'm trying to think. The only thing that would be, like, immune to that would be, like, Ghost Ground. Are there any Ghost Grounds in this game? Maybe just make sure I have one other attack available. Yeah, we'll do that. Hop back into the Tauros eggs on Saturday, and depending on how that goes, we'll do some more of it on Sunday. Or, well, we'll definitely do more eggs on Sunday. It'll just be whether or not it's Blaze Breed or Aqua Breed. I guess it's possible I could get Blaze Breed and Aqua Breed on Saturday, and then I have to figure out what else I'm going to do, but I don't think it's likely, I'll be honest. Honestly, if we do that, I might just do raids to try and find Herba Mystica in Sword. Or not Sword, Scarlet here. Because I will need some more for doing Cloth, and then if I don't come up with anything else that I want to hunt, I can always fall back to looking for the a 3-segment Dunsparce. Could be a good time. Well, maybe not a good time, but I mean, we'll get lots of shinies. I will have plenty of duplicates. The problem is, I think a lot of people are going to have a lot of duplicates because I think there's a lot of people going for that one. I do want to go for that one as a shiny. I don't think I want to go for Family of 3 Mousehold as a shiny. Unless, if I get like absurdly lucky and the first two, not Mousehold, what is it, Tandemouse, first 2 shiny Tandemouse that I get, if one of them happens to be a Family of 3, then you know, I'll get both the forms of it, but I'm not gonna, I don't want to specifically hunt that one, because breeding for it, that's gonna be a nightmare. If there's an event or something for it, like with Alchemy, then sure, we'll do them, but I'm not gonna breed for that one. Oh, wait. I saw that I was ending at 8, because that's how it's been, tonight. Intervals of 3 or 8, or ending number of 3 or 8 is when I need to swap out Pokemon. But I saw it was that, and went, oh, hey, we're done with this one already. No, it's just I never hit the button to begin with. Ah, come on here, Tauros. Be nice to me. Give me what I want, please. We're in the ballpark of where we were with, no, we're not, are we? I'm trying to remember, did we get to, I think we got into the 300s with normal Paldean Tauros, right? Or like base Paldean Tauros, whatever you want to call it. I want to say I was? I don't remember now, though. Because I feel like it was further along than this. I can pull it up, actually. Was not 133. Right, that's not the correct thing. Hold on, sorry. Past. Oh, no, it was 248. Okay, so we're like right where we were before. Okay. Well, then. But I mean, again, you can look at the percentage number, which is how likely it is that with this many hatches, I would have seen one or at least one shiny. So, like, you know, 37.81% chance, pretty good, all things considered. But also, I mean, I'm still more likely to have not seen it, right? It would help if I swap those out. All right, here we go. I don't know what it is that causes the camera to get desynced there. I really wish I did. Like, usually I don't even notice it for a couple seconds because I'm just kind of like running in a straight line. I'm not paying that much attention. It feels like it's typically somewhere around here. But then it didn't do it there, so I don't know. But it's just like, if I knew what was causing it, I could work to not have it happen. You know, or like try to avoid whatever is causing it. But yeah, I will try to see if I can get a good method for like pre-breeding these. So that way I don't have to do it like the long way. Or not, I mean, it's the same amount of time, I should say, but that way I don't have to do it on stream because, again, it's nothing interesting to watch. I kind of knew that was going to be the case, but I just wanted to get into it. Especially because right now I'm like very much just like, yeah, let's just play Scarlet and Violet. Don't even like want to go and mess with Alolan Raichu, which is a relatively... I mean, it's a lot more interesting of a hunt because there's at least anything going on screen. Even if I'm not moving around, I'm literally just pressing A. Like, it's not just... The screen isn't just me standing in front of a picnic table looking at a basket for 30 minutes. Like, even though it is just me talking to one person for extended periods of time, like, the trade animation has to happen and stuff, right? So, that at least helps. Okay. Last one of this set, last full set of eggs as well. We just got the 4 more coming up. So no shiny today. I mean, again, it could happen. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, though. Let's get ahead of ourselves because we're not going to get the shiny in the next 4 eggs. But yeah, we'll just have to pick this back up again on Saturday. It would help if I grabbed the eggs. Come on. Last set, and I can't even keep it together. I can't even say together, let alone keep it. Alright. Would be really cool to get it, though. Like, right now. Get it on, like, the last egg, right as I'm giving up for the night. Oh, wasn't that one. 3 left. So I do think by next stream, especially if I pre-breed them, I should be at the point where we're at like over 50%. So it's like more likely to have seen the shiny than not have seen the shiny. But again, we'll worry about that when we get there. And I've had plenty that also just like go over 512, so like what you would normally consider odds, right? So it's... we'll just have to see. But as much as I don't like the picnicking, glad to be back into shiny hunting. Like, egg hunting. You know, that's how I started my my streaming a couple years ago, was just working on eggs. And then, yeah, BDSP came out, played that, and then, you know, just kind of went from there. Okay, well, no shiny tonight. Unfortunate, but again, I mean, you can see the percentage. there's still over a 60% chance that I would not have seen a shiny yet, right? So it is what it is. But yeah, like I've said a couple times, tomorrow we'll work on Blissey raids. Just try and get a whole bunch of Terra shards. Unfortunately, like I said, not really anything that you normally would consider a sellable, but if I get a bunch of candies and stuff too, or just like a crap ton of Terra shards, that can probably sell some of those. And then yeah, we'll get back into the breeding on Saturday, and you know, we'll start that with Blaze Breed, and then we'll see where that goes, and we'll see what we're gonna work on Sunday. And then yeah, we'll have my days off. But anyways, I will wrap up there. YouTube, if you've gotten this far, thank you so very much. This is just absolutely thrilling, riveting content. I mean, yeah, God, I can't even like keep enough of like a straight face with that to fucking try. Anyways, but thank you so very much. I do definitely appreciate it. Check out my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/PanicosGaming. I try to stream every Wednesday through Sunday. God, I am like completely stumbling through this outro. Every Wednesday through Sunday, usually around 2 to 3 hours a piece, and usually starting around like midnight or somewhere thereabouts. Like I've been starting these a little bit earlier, around 11 p.m. as much as you can consider that early. But yeah, right now I'm pretty much just doing shiny hunts, but also, I mean, when there's new games and new content to play, then I do playthroughs of that stuff as well. Yeah, just check out the YouTube, or check out the Twitch channel, or don't. Thank you for just watching anyways. I do definitely appreciate it. Yeah, I'll see you guys next time.